Simon, I do personally believe in tapering. I use it a lot. I think to achieve your goals in particular races, you do need to taper and just taper in, and we also taper out of races a little bit, so you just give your body a chance to recover. So perhaps if we're racing the weekend, I wouldn't start hard training until the Wednesday or Thursday, just so that my body's fully recovered. I think training for all the distances Alistair, such as sprint all the way through to iron distances, it's tough to do, but I think you just need to vary the training so you keep the longer endurance training that you would do for your iron distance, but also add a bit of intensity, so you got the shorter anaerobic reps, so like swimming 100 metres for example on the track, 200 metre, 400 metre running reps, and maybe a 1 hour chain gang with shorter efforts, so then you've got the intensity to step down and race a sprint or Olympic distance with a lot more speed. Maybe work on your technique a little bit, maybe get a swim analysis, so if you can get someone, it doesn't have to be a professional, but if you look at someone who can film your stroke and just sort of make sure you're swimming pull down the middle, you're not pulling across the body and lengthening out the stroke. I think the technique is really important, just because that can make swimming a lot more efficient and easier, and it'll take a lot less out of you whilst you're also going faster. And then you should have better legs on the bike and the run as well, so that can affect your whole performance. It seems great that your disciplines are all consistently good with each other, but the fact that your training or your fitness isn't maybe improving as much as you'd like might call for the need to just adapt your training a little bit. So you might need to just add more hours in, just to increase your aerobic capacity, for example. But also maybe increase the intensity of your training a little bit, such as swimming, just perhaps work a little bit harder, or even reduce the recoveries, just so your body's not as recovered between each rep, so each rep's getting harder and your body's just working out a little bit harder each rep. And over time this should, if you do all these things, then your fitness should definitely increase. I'm in the gym twice a week, Jake, and before I started my gym program, I got assessed by the physio, and each of the athletes here in my training group have different weaknesses and strengths, and we tend to work on the weaknesses that affect our posture and stability and running position technique wise. So each individual athlete's got a different training regime in the gym. Personally, I go for things to straighten out my back, just to help me run a little bit taller, make sure everything's going forward on a run, and stop slouching and things like that. So I tend to do exercises like an overhead squat with a bar, a lot of bar work actually, like good mornings, straight leg deadlifts and squats, all to improve my back. Elton, I think personally pre-race, depending on the race time, obviously if it's a morning race I usually just have breakfast beforehand, and I try to go for a carb-based breakfast such as porridge, but also get a bit of golden syrup on my porridge, a little bit of peanut butter, just add a bit of protein and sugar, all quick release, and that can increase my performance, I think. Max, I think it's great that you're doing triathlon as a junior, and I started perhaps junior was my second year into triathlon, and it's better for your performance in the long run if you start at a young age. I think just make sure you're enjoying it, and you get on well with all the other athletes on the circuit. I think the more you do things around the other people and they become your group of mates, the more you enjoy it, and it just makes training easier when you're training with a great group of guys, girls, and you just go out and enjoy yourself. But also, you get a little bit competitive in the group and you push each other harder. Matthew, I think it sounds like you've got a lot of time on your hands, and with you always being fresh, I think maybe you could without overdoing it, you could maybe up your training volume a little bit, spend a bit more time out on the bike, a bit more time running, and if you've got time to go on an extra swim a week, maybe just work a little bit hard as well to avoid feeling fresh, because training hard you shouldn't feel fresh all the time. Obviously you don't want to be tired all the time, but you do want to finish sessions and be tired.